Everyone knows that the COVID-19 pandemic is having a devastating impact on millions of people in America. Parents and policymakers are making decisions about students returning to schools and are looking at the full spectrum of benefits and risk of both in-person and virtual learning options. However, much of the public decisions has been amongst adults, and we, as students, have not had the opportunity to openly share about our thoughts.
As teen influencers and the next generation of America's leaders, students ages 12 to 18 in the Star Foundation is hosting a live virtual debate about reopening schools in the midst of the pandemic. This is an opportunity to watch as students exchange ideas and possibly give parents and policymakers some food for thought. Please join us October 29th at 6 p.m. The event will be streamed from Zoom to YouTube Live. Families, students, policymakers, medical professionals, and school leaders, this is an opportunity to indulge in a meaningful conversation that will help young people safely weather this pandemic and successfully complete the school year.
The mission of the Star Foundation is to empower youth to believe that they are solution-oriented stars, smart, talented, and resilient students who are destined to change the world. Our vision is to create servant leaders who are prepared to become the next generation of America's leaders and who fully believe that the essence of leadership is service to mankind. Good evening. I am Betty Burney, the founder and executive director of the I'm a Star Foundation. Thank you for joining us tonight for the great debate where student influencers will debate one of the hottest topics in America right now, opening schools in the midst of a pandemic. Students were randomly placed on teams and worked together as a group to create their best arguments. Tonight, you will hear the students' voices and concerns. Tonight, you will see students empowered to advocate on behalf of their peers. But more importantly, you will see teamwork and critical thinking merge together to produce self-confidence. I am sure that every adult viewing tonight will agree that self-confidence is priceless. This is the first of several debates, and our overarching goal is to spur conversations. I'm a Star is comprised of middle and high school students ages 12 through 18. And the student speakers for the debate teams, 3 of the 4 are in middle school, and the 4th person started 9th grade in the fall. Neither team knows what the other is going to say, so it is going to be a surprise. Defending the pro side, which is opening schools, we have Kennedy Larkins, who's an 8th grader, and John Woodard, who's an 8th grader. Defending the con side, which is for virtual learning, is Tiffany Powell, who's an 8th grader, and Javar Collier, who is a 9th grader. Please keep in mind that the students, all of the students that you see on this Zoom tonight, they researched and they wrote their own arguments. I am so very proud of them, and I hope that you are going to be proud of them as well. So let's get this party started. I bring to you our star reporter, the beautiful and talented 11th grader from Frank H. Peterson High School, Lanaya White. Take it away, Lanaya.
Hello, I am Lanaya White, and I'm coming to you live from the I'm a Star Foundation Zoom platform as your news anchor and roving reporter. To cover the great debate, student leaders in the I'm a Star Foundation will debate a very hot topic tonight, opening schools in the midst of a pandemic. Please welcome Maya McLaughlin, a senior from First Coast High School, to the center stage.
Good evening. My name is Maya McLaughlin. I am a senior at First Coast High School, Jacksonville, Florida, and it is my pleasure to introduce the smart, talented, and amazing members of the pro team. Our team will argue that the brick and mortar school setting should be open during the pandemic. First, I will introduce my fellow co-chairs. They will wave their hands and show a sign of who they are. First, we have Joseph Dorsey, a sophomore from Jacksonville, Florida, who attends Darnell Cookman School of the Medical Arts. Second, we have Milton Persons, a junior who attends Westside High School in Jacksonville, Florida. Next, we have Sadell Hardy, a junior in Robert E. Lee High School Early College Program in Jacksonville, Florida. And last but not least, we have Kendi Larkins, an eighth grader from River City Science Academy in Jacksonville, Florida. Now, our dynamic team members are Jordan Bell, a freshman at Wilson High School in Jacksonville, Florida. Terrence Burney Jr., which is a sixth grader, guys, a student from Apex, North Carolina, who attends Apex Friendship Middle School. Next, we have Kendall Larkins, a seventh grader who attends Chapman Academy in Jacksonville, Florida. Next, we also have John Woodward Jr., who attends Florida Learning Virtual School in Jacksonville, Florida. Carly Mays, a freshman from Orlando, Florida, who attends OCVS. Next, we have Kayla Walker, a seventh grade student from Jacksonville, Florida, who attends Kernan Middle School. Next, we have Jayla Mays, a seventh grader from Orlando, Florida, who attends OCVS. And lastly, we have Marissa Macy, a 16-year-old senior who attends River City Science Academy in Jacksonville, Florida.
And now Jordan Sanders will introduce the con team.
Good evening. My name is Jordan Sanders, and I am a sixth grade student who attends Kirby Smith Middle School in Jacksonville, Florida. I am proud to introduce the spectacular, amazing, fabulous, might I even add dazzling, members of the con team. Our team will argue that brick and mortar schools should not be open during the pandemic. The co-chairs for the team are Valencia Gibson from Jacksonville, Florida, who is in the early college program at John Rewalt High School. Tiffany Powell, an eighth grade student who attends Darnell Cookman School of the Medical Arts in Jacksonville. Javar Collier, a high school freshman from St. Augustine, Florida, who attends St. John's Tech High School. And now, let me introduce the members of our extraordinary team. Jamal Blackwood Jr. is a seventh grade student from Atlanta, Georgia, and he attends Sandtown Middle School. Trinity Burney is a freshman from Apex, North Carolina, and she attends Apex Friendship High School. Cameron Dees is a freshman who attends Paxton School for Advanced Studies in Jacksonville, Florida. Her twin sister, Kayla Dees, is also a freshman at Paxton School for Advanced Studies. Cara Dees is an eighth grader who attends James Weldon Johnson Middle School in Jacksonville, Florida. Demaya Dukes is a freshman at Paxton School for Advanced Studies in Jacksonville, Florida. Ashanti Foster from Jacksonville, Florida, and she is a seventh grader at Darnell Cookman School of the Medical Arts. Knowledge Ellis is a seventh grade student who attends Westview Middle School in Jacksonville, Florida. Madison Harmon attends La Villa School of the Arts, and she is a seventh grader from Jacksonville, Florida. Elizabeth Husband is from Jacksonville, Florida, and attends Landon Middle School, where she is in sixth grade. Miles McLaughlin is in sixth grade and attends Darnell Cookman School of the Medical Arts in Jacksonville, Florida. Haley Mays is from Orlando, Florida, and attends OCVS, where she is in ninth grade. Malachi White is a 16-year-old 12th grader from Jacksonville who attends River City Science Academy. Gavin Riggs from Jacksonville, Florida, attends James Weldon Johnson Middle School. Kami King from Jacksonville, Florida, attends Darnell Cookman Middle School and is in eighth grade. Taylor Walker attends Cedar Creek Christian School in Jacksonville, Florida, and she is in eighth grade. George Walker attends the Greenwood School, where she is in 10th grade. Blake Thomas is in 8th grade and attends Mandarin Middle School in Jacksonville, Florida. And now Jeremiah Johnson will introduce members of the graphic and social media team.
Hi, I am Jeremiah Johnson, and I am a proud senior from Orange Park, Florida, who attends Oak Leaf High School. It is my pleasure to introduce the graphics and social media team. Our group made these awesome backgrounds for each team that you see displayed on the Zoom, and we created social media content. My team includes John Robinson, an eighth grade student from Apex, North Carolina. John attends Apex Peak Charter School. Minka Pryor, a sixth grade student who attends Darnell School of the Medical Arts, Jacksonville, Florida. Justin Porter, an 11th grade student from Orange Park, Florida, who attends Oak Leaf High School. Will Robertson IV is an 11th grade student from Apex, North Carolina, who attends Apex Friendship High School. Robert Jones could not be with us tonight. Robert is a senior from Rains High School. Thank you.
Let me take this time to interview a few people on our Zoom. Maya McLaughlin, how do you feel about tonight's debate?
Hello. About tonight's debate, I feel very, very confident that we can look at, this debate and look at this conversation in a different way. We can see different things about how, how could we go through life living through this virus or being that this virus is here and is with us.
And Valencia, how do you feel about tonight's debate?
I feel like this is an opportunity to get our voices out there and try to make a difference, especially since COVID-19 is something very, very serious.
I had the same question. I have a different question for the adults. Miss Bell, are you excited to hear what the students had to say? Well, it looks like she's not answering. So, Dr. Jenkins, are you excited to hear what the students had to say?
I'm very excited. It's always good to hear from the talented students of the I'm a Star Foundation, and I'm just looking forward to an aggressive debate.
And I'm sorry, Lanaya. I am very excited to hear what the smart, talented, and resilient students of the I'm a Star Foundation have to say about the pros and cons of attending school.
Thank you.
Lanaya will now introduce our moderator.
Faith Sampson is an 11th grader at Sandalwood High School, and she is tonight's wonderful star moderator. Let's welcome Faith Sampson with a round of applause.
Greetings to all. It is very important as teen influencers that our voices are heard loudly and clearly. Here are some rules. Please be respectful to each side. Please do not talk when one is talking. Each team will have 5 minutes for an opening statement, 5 minutes for a rebuttal, and a closing statement. Valencia Gibson, as co-chair for the con group, and Joseph Dorsey as a co-chair for the program. The two of you will call for heads or tails to decide which group will speak first. Who wants to call first?
I will allow Valencia to call first.
As a gentleman would. Mrs. Burney, we are ready for the coin flip.
Okay, just one moment. I'll get it ready. Is everybody ready? We're going to do this coin flip. Valencia, what are you choosing, heads or tails?
Tails.
Tails wins. So you get to choose
So,
who's going to go first.
Valencia, which team do you want to go first?
The pro.
Now we will be entering round one. Each team will get 5 minutes to present their presentation. The pro team will go first. Now you have 5 minutes to present your presentation.
Education is a powerful weapon, and as kids, we can use it to change the world. When you send your child to school, they socialize, get extra help, and nutritious meals. So tonight, John and I are going to convince and persuade you to send your child inside schools so they can learn and discover new things.
Socialization can help in school because if kids play sports, they can make friends at the school or kids from other schools. Socializing not only stops kids from feeling alone, but also helps them sharpen your memory and cognitive skills, and it increases your sense of happiness and well-being. Not being able to be with your friends can cause people to feel lonely, and that leads to depression, which also leads to suicide. This year alone, 48,000 teenagers committed suicide. The suicide toll in 2017 was over 6,000 people, and that was between male and female.
When you're online, you're only online for a certain amount of time. But when you're in school, you can go to tutoring. And some schools have that for online kids and others don't. Parents are not used to the new way that children learn today. Therefore, they cannot help their students with homework. On NPR.com, it says most households don't have a space that they can say, this is your classroom, this is your space, and you will have this and nothing else.
Many students around the country, rely on schools to provide free or low-cost meals. These meals, which speak to the country's larger problem of income inequality, are a necessary staple for many families across the country. 56.4 million kids attend elementary, middle, and high school. On a typical school day, the National School Lunch Program provides low-cost, free lunches to 29.7 million children. This is more than half of the students that go to school. These low-cost and free options are even more imperative considering the record-shattering unemployment spike in the United States.
When kids are home, they will gain more weight and they won't be able to exercise as much because most parents will not allow their children to go outside. Most meals that we receive at the end of the week, they are cold, and nothing beats a hot and nutritious meal. Thank you.
Now, the con team will have 5 minutes to present their presentation. Your time starts now.
223,000 people have died from COVID-19. Do you want to add to that? You could if you send your children to school. Sending children back to school can be dangerous to parents, teachers, and staff. Moving from place to place, person to person, and affecting everyone in its path. There are people that we know that is very concerned about going to school because their mom or dad may be impacted greatly because they have an underlying condition. We all want to see our friends, but is it worth risking your life and other people you care about? It's true that being in physical school can have greater benefits. However, just the thought of your child getting sick or probably dying is something you cannot compromise. Thank you.
Over 280 charter schools have closed in Florida. Over 30 schools in various districts have closed in Florida, according to Florida Department of Education.org. There are other underlying conditions that heavily impact children's health and can be deadly. According to healthychildren.org, it states more than 4,200 US children are diagnosed with Kawasaki disease each year. Kawasaki disease can inflame your heart's muscles and lining and the various parts of the heart, being a life-threatening disease. Kawasaki disease is mainly found in children, and COVID-19 can lead to Kawasaki disease. Another underlying condition that can be deadly is asthma. According to worldpopulationreview.com, it states 54,000 children have been diagnosed with COVID-19. This number could fill the entire city of Rocky Mount and the city of Pinellas Park, Florida. Almost 11,000 children have been diagnosed with COVID-19 since school has started. Now, not all COVID-19 cases are reported, leaving parents in the dark. Statistics show there has been a 34% increase with COVID cases spiking in schools. Knowing the increase in cases in schools, the governor is still trying to open up schools to all students. According to cdc.gov, heart damage, there are other conditions. COVID-19 can lead to long-term conditions. According to cdc.gov, it states heart damage like this also might explain some frequently reported long-term symptoms, like shortness of breath, chest pain, and heart palpitation. Now, I heard that the pro said that yes, it is important that we socialize and we see our friends. But throughout this entire pandemic, we have had to make many sacrifices. And in this case, for the safety of the children, we have to give up the chance to see our friends. 16,339 children have died from COVID-19. 16,339 people have died from COVID-19. That means 16,339 people's families are grieving over the loss of their family members. We should not open schools because approximately 224,000 people in the US have died from COVID-19. There has been 8.54 million cases for the US, and there has been 772,000 cases in Florida. In regards to the child's mental health, with children not going to school, guidance counselors are still online and they're whenever you need them. I remember when I had my first panic attack. It was the worst. And my guidance counselor got straight online and allowed me to talk until day's end. While your child may be feeling the way, your child may feel the way that I feel, and you and the guidance counselor will still be right there with them. You're also able to get tutoring online in case of any additional help. Calm Classroom and Wellness Wednesdays are also utilized online. Throughout this entire pandemic, we have had to make sacrifices. And again, not seeing our friends are one of those. Thank you.
Thank you for presenting your 5-minute opening.
Wow, that was great. If you are on the Zoom and you liked the presentation, give us a thumbs up. And if you are on YouTube, give us a shout out in the comment section. Now, let me choose someone randomly from the pro side and someone from the con side. Terrence, what did you think about the presentation?
I think my side did a good job, and I'm really proud of them. Thank you.
And Amaya, what did you think about the presentation?
I thought the presentation was great. Tiffany and Javard killed it. They gave us statistics, facts, and they brought it. So I got to give it to the pros.
Back to you, Faith.
Thank you. Now we will be entering round 2. This is the time for the rebuttal. Each team will have 5 minutes. 5 minutes for a rebuttal to further stress their argument. We will begin with the con side. Yeah, your 5 minutes are starting now.
With schools opening, there are many questions saying, well, what about our child's mental health? What about them socializing? Seeing their friends, seeing their teachers, actually getting the face-to-face online they need. Well, just to back that up, there is tutoring held online that teachers use their time to help their students, showing how much they care and they understand the fact that COVID-19 is out and we're trying to stay safe. Dealing with mental health, we continue to have our guidance counselors and Wellness Wednesdays online. And Wellness Wednesdays is a really big help that gives us a break from looking at the computer screen at different numbers, different letters all day. We make sacrifices we have made sacrifices throughout this whole entire pandemic. With our parents having to stay home from their jobs watching us, we have to make sacrifices as well. And although I really and many others want to see their friends, it's a sacrifice that we must make in order to stay safe, in order to keep these cases down, because 11,000 children have been diagnosed with COVID-19 since schools has opened. Thank you.
If one of your teammates would like to go, you guys have 3 minutes left.
I have seen about 30 kids get packed into a classroom each year. And they talk about social distancing, and with teachers quitting, they can't just put the kids in another classroom. What they're going to do, they're going to still pack about 30 children inside of a classroom, which can cause COVID-19 to spread not only to the children, but to the teachers. And that is how schools get shut down constantly.
Any other speakers? You have 2 minutes.
I would like to add to that.
Just a reminder, this is the con side to do their rebuttal.
He's on the con. Go ahead, Go ahead, Jordan. Jordan Sanders. Your mic is on, yes. Unmute.
Yes.
Since I've been out, I have lost weight because I still complete physical education. I see my friends and feel more confident in life and doing my schoolwork. Plus, I have become more organized.
You have 1 more minute left.
Schools are not always allowing their children to wear their mask correctly. Some teachers are not having their mask on correctly, under their noses, under their chins, talking directly to other people. And I see this with my own eyes. This is not something that is keeping us safe. It is increasing the cases. It is increasing the cases in COVID-19. The cases are spiking due to this. This could harm your child, and you're still sending your child to school. Are we really thinking about the wellness of your child?
40 more seconds left.
They're okay. It's okay, babe.
Okay. Now this gives the pro team 5 minutes to state their rebuttal.
According to the Center Disease for Control, they say in order to prevent the spread of COVID-19, that you should clean your hands often with either soap and water or hand sanitizer for 20 seconds that has at least 60% of alcohol. If you're touching frequently touched surfaces, you should clean your hands even more, and that will also bring down the spread of COVID. The CDC recommends that people wear masks in public settings when they're around people outside of their household, especially when others are social distancing measures and they are difficult to maintain. Masks may prevent people who have COVID-19 from spreading the virus to others. We may be able to 100% prevent the infection of any kind, whether COVID, common colds, or flu. But what we do know is that we can move forward successfully and in a healthy manner with safe practices. Thank you.
If anybody on the pro side would like to go, you have 3 minutes remaining.
John is prepared.
If kids go to school,
Take your time.
Okay. If kids don't go to school and they have disorders and their parents are also working from home, their parents aren't going to have the chance to help them with their schoolwork. So that's why some kids go to school, because the teachers can help them, and they also have like they also have special classes for kids with disorders. What I mean by this is some kids that have like dyslexia or ADHD need to go to school because they can move around while they're like working instead of sitting in one spot in front of a camera most of the day. And yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. If anybody wants to speak, you have 3 minutes.
Yes, this is Maya McLaughlin from the pro side. I would like to add something to that as well. So, according to Washington Post, under the Federal Child Abuse Prevention and Treatment Act, CAPTA, school employees are mandatory reporters of child abuse and neglect. Knowing that school doesn't just provide education, it also provides healthcare, food, mental and emotional support, and also refugee kind of like a refugee safe place to come from or to leave from home. And it is reportedly nearly 20% of the child maltreatment cases in this country. That means if school does not reopen to some in-person education estimate, 800 to 70 cases of child abuse and neglect could go unreported in academics along this year.
Okay, you guys have 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining if anybody wants to speak from the other side. Okay, Leilani, it's on you.
Thank you, Faith. So, Mr. Willie, what are your thoughts about what the students have to say?
I get a speaking role. I'm honored. This has been, I've been taking notes. Literally, I have my pen and I'm taking notes because there are some great arguments on both sides. And this is a very real debate. So I'm just soaking it all up. I'm so proud of every single person who spoke tonight, spoke with facts, spoke just with power and authority with what you said. And I just really appreciate it. Great job, everybody. It's fantastic.
And Jasmine Butler, if you're still on the Zoom, what are your thoughts about what you heard from the students tonight?
Hey guys, so I'm impressed, very impressed, because first of all, the topic is very necessary. And I also think that both sides made really, really great points, especially like the con side, because she was just so passionate about what she was saying, and the pro side had very, very good points as well. So I'm very impressed with you guys. So thank you for doing the debate.
Thank you. Back to you, Faith.
Okay. Each group will have their last appeal. The pro side will start.
As you can see, there is nothing more beneficial that you can do for your child than sending them back to school. They will socialize, get extra help, and a nutritious meal. And along with that, they will get a great education.
And now the con side. You're on mute, Faith.
Oh, and now the con side. I thought Miss Tiffany Powell was speaking.
It's actually Javar. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I will say this again. 223,000 people have died from COVID-19. Do you want to add to that? You could if you send your children back to school. Sending children back to school can be dangerous to parents, teachers, and staff. Moving from place to place, person to person, and affecting everyone in its path. There are people that we know that is very concerned about going to school because their mom or dad may be impacted greatly because they have an underlying condition. We all want to see our friends, but is it worth risking your life? It is true that being in physical school can have a greater benefits. However, just the thought of your child getting sick or possibly dying is something you cannot compromise with. Compromise.
Thank you, Ms. Bernie, for the opportunity to let the con side present their side. The safety of the children is very important, and socializing with our friends is something we're going to have to put on the back burner. Thank you.
I would like to take this time to introduce Demaya Dukes, Ashanti Foster, and Kendall Larks, who will speak about upcoming events.
Hi, my name is Maya Dukes, and I'm in the 9th grade, and I attend Paxton School for Advanced Studies. On December 12th, the Amistar Foundation will host a virtual Leader to Leader Summit. This dynamic and impactful summit will bring our student, leaders, and national, state, and local leaders together to discuss issues and create solutions to negative issues facing America's teens. This year's summit will be a little different. Due to the pandemic, we were unable to host the summit that was planned for March 2020. As a result, this conference will share our progress on crafting solutions to bullying, crime, and leadership transformation. On December 12th, we will also discuss topics and draft solutions for several critical areas that can prohibit students from unleashing their inner greatness. Please be on the lookout for this information. We hope that you will join us for this impactful, informative, and intriguing summit. Thank you.
Ashante Foster.
Hi, my name is Ashanti Foster. I attend Darnell Cookman School of Medical Arts, and I'm going to school for nursing. Each year in December, the I'm a Star Foundation hosts an event to combat childhood obesity and empower participants to adopt healthier lifestyle. Our Let's Move Jacksonville events were phenomenal, and we were looking forward to hosting our 10th annual event, where thousands of people would eat healthy and get active. Sadly, due to the pandemic, the event is canceled and will be rescheduled for the spring or summer of 2021. The student leaders in the I'm a Star Foundation will definitely keep you informed once the date for this fantastic and entertaining event is rescheduled. Thank you.
Kendall Larkins.
The Amastar Foundation. My name is Kendall Larkins. I attend Chapman's Christian Academy and I am in 7th grade. The Amastar Foundation believes that every child is a star because every child is smart, talented, and resilient. We have students from various parts of the country because we are now hosting our meetings on a virtual platform. So adults who are viewing us tonight on YouTube, if you want your child to be a star, please go to our website, www.imastarfoundation.org, and complete the registration form. There is no fee to join, and the only requirement is that your child is in middle or high school. Let me repeat that, www.imastarfoundation.org. Our meetings are held on Zoom 2 Saturdays per month from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Your child will learn what it takes to become a leader. Most importantly, your child will be encouraged to step out of his or her comfort zone and make a difference in the community. I'm a Star welcomes kids ages 12 through 18, grades 6 through 12. I'm Kendall Larkins, and I am a solution-oriented star who understands the essence of leadership is service to mankind. There is room on our Zoom platform for any students who want to become a world-changing leader.
Participants on Zoom and YouTube, you now have an opportunity to select a prevailing team. You will be asked to vote your choice on the following attributes: style, organization, clarity, persuasion, use of evidence, and overall. It has been my honor and pleasure to serve as tonight's debate moderator. My star colleagues have done a phenomenal job and deserve a round of applause. Attorney Badiria Kennebrew, I'm a Star's debate facilitator, will explain the voting process, followed by remarks from Betty Burney, I'm a Star's executive director.
Good evening. What an awesome student-led debate. I am so proud of you all. Star students, you have definitely set the mark high. I do want to first acknowledge our visionary leader, Miss Betty Burney, our executive director, for her vision of creating stars, smart, talented, and resilient students. You all have shown that not only can you lead, but you can anchor, moderate, debate, and provide technological support. So we are so excited to have you here on this platform today. For tonight's success, I extend a congratulations to both teams, to each team representative, and everyone that is here present on Zoom. We have heard from our students, and now we want to hear from all of you that have joined in. We have a survey prepared for you. All you have to do is to click on the survey and make your vote known. So you have a chance to respond. We want to hear from you, and then we'll tally those votes and give all of you the results of the survey for tonight. Thank you so much. And Ms. Burney, we are so thankful to have such a visionary, passionate leader to take advantage of this opportunity and present our students and their voices to the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Kennebrew. So for those of you who are watching us on YouTube, and I understand that there's a great bit of you out there watching us on YouTube, there is a link in the description. There's also a link in the comment section where you can go on, click, and vote. For those of you who are joining us on the Zoom screen, I'm going to place the polling up. And once I place the polling up, you will be able to vote. And remember, the one thing that I want all my young people to know, you are all winners. The very fact that you put all of this together, you did all of your research, and I'm just so proud of the way that you carried yourselves. You guys did an awesome, amazing, and fantastic job. So I am going to now put up the screen for us to vote. The first one is most persuasive. You have an opportunity to vote for neither team, for both teams, for the pros for who we're talking about reopening, or the cons who were against reopening. I'm going to now launch the poll and you'll be able to vote. Oh, the votes are coming in. They're coming in. They're coming in. We have a few more votes out there. Just a few more votes. 75% of the people have voted. It's looking like the cons is taking it. Let's see where we go from there. We got a few more still voting. All right, I think we're there. So we'll end that poll. And so the winner was the cons for most persuasive. All right, we will now go to the next poll. The next one is most organized. With most organized, the same thing. If neither team you felt was most organized, then click that. Both teams, the pros, if you felt they were more organized, then you can click them for reopening schools, and cons against reopening. I will now launch the poll. Votes are coming in. Oh, it's a close one. It is a close one. Wow. Just edging it out by 1%. Oh my goodness. The cons by 1%. And a lot of people are voting for both teams. So that's great. All right. The next one is best use of evidence and facts. Neither team, both teams, pros, the ones who were talking about reopening the school, or cons who were against reopening. I am going to launch the poll and you may vote. And what is so interesting is that the poll on YouTube is running neck and neck with the same thing. So people felt the exact same way. All righty. So the cons win it. The last, I think this will be the last one. Best overall. Best overall. Neither team, both teams, pros for reopening, cons against reopening. I'll launch the poll. Few more coming in. Let's see, we almost 29, got 31. All right, so the cons have it. All right, so first of all, everybody give yourselves a great big hand. Let me get back to where I can. And I want to say that everyone did an outstanding job. both teams. You were absolutely, positively fantastic. It looks like the cons ticket for tonight, which says not going back into the school building. Guess what? All of you will get a trophy. Every one of you, because you did your research, you contributed, you helped craft everything that was going to be said tonight. You did it. No adults did it. You did it. So everyone is going to get a trophy. Cons, you get to get something extra, but I think that we all should give everybody a hand. So everybody, can you just give all teams a great big hand? And now I'd like to introduce Maya McLaughlin. Maya, please come to the center stage.
Okay, good evening. Tonight, we hosted a debate, but it was also the start of a conversation. As COVID-19 continues to spread throughout our country, it is important that we do whatever it is necessary to protect our children, mentally, physically, and academically. Tonight is also about solutions. What are some things that you can do differently to help students who are in the brick and mortar building or who are learning online? We want to hear your thoughts and concerns. If you are joining us on the Zoom, please use the chat feature. And if you are watching on YouTube, please use the comment section to place your questions, comments, or just general concerns. We will compile all of the comments and share it out on our Facebook page. Tonight, I will read the first two comments in the chat and ask the person who wrote the comment to elaborate on those comments for 2 minutes or less. I repeat, guys, 2 minutes or less.
Okay, Maya, if you can go ahead and see if you have anybody who had any questions or comments in the chat.
I don't see. I don't see anything yet, but like I said, guys, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can put them in the chat and I'll read the first two. Okay, so the first one is from Jasmine Butler. It says, for the students that are in the unsafe environments at home, what accommodations can be made for them?
We'll ask her to elaborate on it.
Yeah, the question is, can you elaborate on your question? Like, how would you,
Yeah, so I voted for the con side because I do think that students shouldn't return to school because of the health reasons. But I also think that a lot of students are facing like whatever it may be at home, like their parents aren't, as active as they should be. They don't have the help they need, the food they need. So I kind of just want to hear from a couple of the students that are on here. What can we do for those students? Because although I think that students should stay home, some students don't have that safe and tunnel vision environment at home. So I just want to kind of hear from some of you guys about that.
Maya, if it's okay with you, then we will ask one person to address Jasmine's comment. And then, as Maya stated, we are going to host another Facebook Live. And when we host that Facebook Live, that's where the conversation will be. And we'll keep you posted. We'll take all of the information and we'll talk from there.
Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, somebody can, elaborate on it. Just remember, 2 minutes or less, guys. If anybody feels free to, accommodate her question, you can. And remember, we will have a Facebook Live where we can ask and answer more questions. Tiffany Patterson said she will speak. Just make sure you take yourself off mute and you can elaborate on her question.
Okay, actually, good evening. I was listening to the question, and I kind of missed a little bit of it. I'm sorry, my son came in, but just for a quick comment, I am a healthcare provider. I'm a respiratory therapist, which we all know COVID is a respiratory infection, disease, whichever way you want to look at it. And I am definitely on the con side. My husband, he's a paramedic, fireman. He's kind of wanting to send the kids back to school. I don't really think that that is the right thing to do. I'm literally watching people die every day. I am in the front line right there at the bedside with them yesterday. I'm not gonna, put the patient out there, but I had a 32-year-old, and at this point right now, I still don't even know if he made it through the night. So it actually did start off with the adults, the older adults, the elderly people, and now it's more so affecting the younger people, 18 to 34 years of age. And so they are actually dying in rapid sensation every day, every hour. So it's not a game, it's not a joke. And what we see on the television is definitely true in that sense. And I just wanted to put that out there to keep you guys aware.
Okay, yes, ma'am, and thank you. For my next question, which is the last question, it is from Turek SGG. If a vaccine is to be available, would you take it? So would you please elaborate on your question? The question is, would you take it?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, the question to elaborate more, if a vaccine comes out, the first vaccine, would anyone rush to get the vaccine? And if the schools require the vaccine, would anyone have a opposite approach to doing so?
Hold on, I can't hear you. Okay, if anybody, if Miles, so I have a comment that was first. Miles McLaughlin, he said he could speak for this comment. So being that this is the last question, we'll let Miles speak, and then we'll continue when we have the Facebook Live.
Okay, for the vaccine question, I would not take the vaccine, because usually with most vaccines like the influenza, aka the flu vaccine, they kill the disease. It's sometimes those diseases can still be alive, and then they can mess up your immune system as well. Like if the needle is dirty, or just the vaccine itself is not pure, they didn't do it right, that will enter your body, and that can mess you up even more. So I would not take the vaccine. And if schools required it, I would stay home, because I would rather be safe at my house. Well, not peculiarly safe, but safer at my house than risk my life going to school and taking the vaccine and then going to school.
Thank you, Miles. I like that answer. So thank you guys so much. We will continue this conversation on a later date on the I Am a Star Facebook page at a date that will be announced.
And thank you, Maya. Before we close out, I saw that Shara put in there that she wanted to speak, and I never want to stop my students from speaking. Shara just made it to 6th grade. She just had the opportunity to become a star. So Shara, unmute yourself, say what you have to say, and then we will get ready to close out.
I would like to say that I would also probably not take it, just because maybe they haven't tested it on enough people to make sure it's gonna work properly. And if it doesn't work properly, it might just be like you're taking something random and might not even help you.
All right, thank you so much. And I'd like to thank all of the adults who were on the Zoom, who came and joined us and were able to ask questions and provide information. Ms. Patterson, your information was just great. Thank you so very much. I would like to also thank the wonderful, my favorite school board member, Mr. Darrell Willey, who jumped on the Zoom and joined us tonight. He's always out there doing whatever he can do to help young people. School board member Willie, thank you for getting on. I also see that we have Ms. Katoria Wilkins from Kids Hope Alliance, who goes every day, all in for kids. We're so appreciative. And then I see some of my former stars on there. Jalen Donald, who's in college, jumped on the Zoom. Jasmine Butler, all the way from FAMU, jumped on the Zoom. And yeah, I see you, Jalen, UCF. Yeah, all right, all right. My babies, my college going babies. I love it. So I want to thank all of the facilitators who work with I'm a Star, all of the parents. Thank you for allowing me an opportunity to work with your child. I do not take this lightly. I don't. So thank you for allowing me to be able to pour myself into your children. My ultimate goal, our ultimate goal, is to make sure that they understand and believe that they are stars, smart, talented, and resilient students who are destined to change the world. Before I let Miles close us out, I also want to say thank you to all of my stars. My stars, you rock. You are so awesome. I will see you Saturday on the Zoom platform where we can get ready for our leadership meetings that we hold. Any parents out there, as Kendall said, there is room on the Zoom for you. So I've said all that I am going to say as an adult. I'm going to leave the closeout to the one and only Mr. Miles McLaughlin, a sixth grader who attends Darnell School for the Medical Arts. It's on you, Miles. Close us out.
Hello, my name is Miles McLaughlin, and on behalf of the I'm a Stars Foundation, smart, talented, and resilient students, I would like to thank you for taking the time to listen to our voices as stars. We are taught that the essence of leadership is service to mankind, and we look upon tonight's debate as a service to the community. Tonight was a win-win for us. The middle and high school students on this platform are winners because we had a chance to increase our knowledge, share our thoughts, and enhance our presentation skills. The viewers on YouTube and adult viewers are winners because you received information, and we all know information is knowledge, and knowledge is power. Once the Zoom call ends, we hope that conversations and solutions begin. Talk to each other about solutions and ways to make learning better for children, no matter if they are learning in the physical building or on the virtual platform. One of Miss Bernie's favorite quotes is from the late James Baldwin. For these are all our children. We will all profit by or pay for whatever they become. Please work together to keep all children safe and provide the best opportunities for all children to learn. Thank you again for joining us and have a great evening.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great evening. Good night.